What is up? Happy New Year, everybody. GIL E Letter subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And this year in 2022, I want to kick off with just giving you some thoughts on areas that I believe are actionable. I'm not going to be coming out with a lot of things that are, to talk around information, to give you guys some sort of content. Obviously, I have been too light on my updates with you guys, and that's for a myriad of reasons. But here's what I'm going to do today and what I will do and promise you for every update going forward. What I come out with, and if I recommend something and I highlight something, I'm shooting for two things. One is if there is sort of an overall call on the markets or on macro or on a sector or on whatever that may be, that's not a specific call on, a stock or an investment. My goal is to provide significant value in the sense that I have already done a lot of homework on it. I've looked at the top resources that exist. The one thing I've been able to do in the course of my career here is my access to deal flow and research and information. It's just exceptional, and that's what I rely on. I rely on people that are smarter than I am, and then my ability is hone that down, chop it up, make decisions based on what I'm seeing. I add my own little flavor to it, and then relay a lot of that to you. So my hope is number one, that anything that you get from me is going to be of high quality opinion from a standpoint of well done research. Secondly, anything that is talked about, and even if it is a macro, like today we'll talk a little bit about gold. I'm going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin and where I think we are in that cycle. Anything that I talk about here that makes it to the free e-letter, anything that makes it to any level of our memberships is actionable right there, right then, up to the prices. If it's a buy recommendation, it is up to the prices that I mentioned, the buy up to pricing, and you can bank on it. And that is where, if you want to benefit from the service and from some of the stuff that I come up with, the amount of recommendations has narrowed. The quality, I believe, has gone through the roof, in the sense that these are only plays that I'm big and banking on big myself and believe wholeheartedly in. And I'm not really messing around at all as it pertains to like a bunch of recommendations here or there. And I'll talk a little bit about at least one of those today. I'm going to give you one actionable item. I have talked about, real briefly before I forget, Denarius. Denarius is a big play for us for 2022. I'll get into that in a separate update. DSLV, I'm butchering the US symbol, which is DNRSF. That's a big play. It remains a very, very strong buy for me. What I want to talk about is really a couple of things that we need to address overall, which is gold, the gold market. As far as what is going to happen with the stock market, everything that we as gold investors we're trying to avoid, or we're hoping to avoid in the world, for concern of our money being stolen in this fiat system, tyranny, freedom, to move our own assets and funds, politics getting way too heavy-handed with overreach around the globe. All those things are here on steroids today, and they're not going away. So I think it's just very important for us to really do what we can do. For my role, that is to help with ideas to make money, because we have to have finances and financing to be able to take care of ourselves and our families. More importantly, to take care of random people, random things that we care about. Because I'm going to be talking not so much on the GIL, but some of the reasons why I've been MIA at times is because I'm focused on like humanity situations for myself and what to focus on there, because this is it, guys. This is us putting the flag on the hill whoever, whatever you're doing today, whatever I'm doing with my life right now, not, once I get here, then I'll do this. This is who I am. This is who we are, I think, because it's not going to get more potent. Nothing's going to ease back. No, this is it. Like, this is game time. And that's how I treat every day today. And so anything that we're going to do to take care of, our family should be a done deal. That's easy. Like, look, every single person on planet Earth wants to take care of themselves and their family. You're just another schmuck if that's all you want to do. And if that's all that you are doing, okay? Because uh I think it's a sign of being a mediocre person in life if that's all that you're doing and that's all that you want to do. You're not really the ones that I'm here to try to help at all. I wish I had a box checker that I could help make those that want to do more, that want to do more, that want to do more with their life and with their money than just take care of yourselves and your family. I actually think that that's sad, because everybody you meet and talk to, no shit, you want to take care of yourselves and your family. We should take care of ourselves, our family. And if you are an overachiever, if you're a successful person, if you've been blessed with being smart and or have a certain technique or a technique in something that you do to make a living, in something that you do as a skill to make a living and make a better living than others, I think for me, it's my responsibility. I got to take care of others, not in a factor of, just mom or kids or nieces and nephews and sisters and this and that. It's how many villages, you know what I mean? Like, that's my challenge. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm not saying that that's what you should do. I'm just saying that that's what gets me motivated, is seeing people, and that's who I want to lay out opportunities for, to help that get financed, because frankly that has been financed for me, and it's been financed for me with those of you that have been here for years. Listen, I've been broke as a joke. I've had to start over a couple of times as an adult. I didn't come from money. I'm back in Wisconsin right now on the other side of the tracks, but driving around up here, at this point in my life and just looking back at like how I grew up, I am amazed that I am so grateful that, I've had a lot of different struggles in life, but you've watched me, those of you that have been, here, you've watched me go from, fairly successful, have some winners, have some losers, this and that, to a lot of it being crypto based, but it was all seeded by mining plays, the gold and silver sector, the metals area. That is not, that this is my baby. It's my special love. And it helped me get ahead. But what helped me get ahead is on the crypto. And those recommendations were made here. I'm going to bring that up a little bit here, but I know some of you are living in a dungeon back in archaic times, and you don't want to hear about gold's only competitor in 5,000 years is capital flight currency, and flows go towards that versus gold. With I've said this for years now, we have to address Bitcoin. I'm not going to give a lot of the the ones that are the riskier, higher risk, non money crypto tokens or ideas here. Don't worry about that. But Bitcoin we should address, because we've seen money, really the way that people have been able to wrap their head around Bitcoin is to call it digital gold and sort of get it in that respect. I think that I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to move on to more of a bullet point format here. And that is that I would encourage those of you that, you've brushed Bitcoin off and you're a gold investor who understands sound money and wants sound money and wants the fiat system to be done with and gone, let it blow up, because that's what it's doing right now. You want to keep an open mind in this area, because we're nowhere near the end of a Bitcoin bull market. And it's also for the crypto people. I tell them, if you're dismissing gold, you don't understand, you don't know what you're talking about with the functionality of gold. If you poo-poo gold and talk about it in some negative fashion. Well, that's how your wealth was built. It was based on a model after gold. I have a different perspective, I think, than a lot of people because I like them both, and both of them together will more swiftly destroy the unfair system of theft, which is our fiat monetary system. And there is no stopping this trend, guys, but it's going to get dirty. It's going to get nasty, and they're fighting for it. And it doesn't matter because they cannot stop it. They can't stop Bitcoin. You can't stop Bitcoin. Try to stop it. And gold should play a massive part of this as the real store of value today. In the future, Bitcoin will be a store of value, perhaps taking market share in that sense from gold, but I'm not in Bitcoin to store my wealth. I'm in gold. I'm buying gold every week to store my purchasing power. I buy Bitcoin now because I think we're approaching a low in this market. We're getting extreme on the fear and greed index, down in the mid-teens with Bitcoin testing 40,000, 40 and change. I would highly encourage those of you that are in it and maybe getting scared, just buck up. In fact, this is where you want to be nibbling. If you've missed it, this is where you want to be looking at opening an account finally and buying some. This is an area where you add in pieces. And if you don't have a lot of Bitcoin, you should be praying it goes lower so you can continue to add it. If you're waiting to buy your first position when it goes lower than it is, you're just never going to participate. So I think that the psychology of how we do these things has become so evidently important to me, and I'm really grateful to hear the different consensuses from a lot of amateurs that are out there that I meet in real life that they're watching now. They're getting involved in investing in crypto because that is something that the younger generation is doing, and it's good because they're learning about the monetary system and everything else. But for those of you that are just stock people and you're too lazy to open a crypto account for in 10 minutes and get KYC'd at Coinbase or wherever to just get a little piece of it, I don't get it. I mean, you're gonna buy it, you're going to own it either directly or indirectly, or you may already own it directly or indirectly, because every single institution, every single fund manager that manages your 401ks, they've got to be watching, or they're in it, or they're trying and wait until this. Here's the thing, guys, an ETF is going to get approved. There was only a futures ETF that was approved. I think that was a negative. Who went and ran out and bought the futures ETF that's used as a shorting vehicle for groups like Citadel and others that are in there that are using it as a hedging tool? When you have a spot ETF approved, I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen. I think it could just happen like, and then all of a sudden, all the days of these prices on Bitcoin are so far gone so fast. Go try to open an account then on Coinbase. Snooze, you lose. You won't be able to. It's going to be frozen. Good luck. Anyway, lows, Bitcoin, I believe, are close. And I believe we're going well into the six figures in 2022. Gold itself has been so interesting in terms of how it's been trading, because it's like they can't knock it down. We can't take it up. It's like, we're sitting in this 1800 area, and something eventually is going to have to give. And in this inflationary environment, even though we probably have to wait for a little bit of this, the rates are going to rise in March, consensus to absorb, and then beyond that, you start to look at the fact that how high are they going to be able to raise anything? This is a house of cards around the globe. It is not going to last. It's just not going to happen. And gold is very much trading when you look at a longer term, and expectations on gold for me, guys, is truly to, if it maintains what it's done the last 50 years since Nixon took this bad boy off the gold standard, you're talking about the link of gold 10% approximately. Like, we're between 9 and 10 annually, depending on where gold is at the moment. Right now, I mean, it's like in the mid, like low nines. when it's back over 2000, you're going to be looking at 10% annual gain versus the dollar in gold that has happened over 50 years. I'm cool with that. That is what gold is supposed to do. It isn't supposed to compete with Bitcoin. They're two different animals, but two good animals that should be playing together and ripping up other animals that are not so nice. In any event, I'm very bullish gold for what it is. And I do believe it is going higher. I think that with these markets the way that they are, the one thing also to keep in mind with gold is that I stacked gold as well, because look at even like the March 2020 deal with that extreme flush as we were going into COVID. The decline on gold itself, I have to go refresh. Don't quote me, please. But I mean, we were like 15% or so off of those highs. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was definitely, not more than like 18, and it could have been as low as 12. Call it mid-teens of a decline on the gold price. Whereas, I mean, I think you were probably there too, but my mining account, my stock portfolio account, they were sliced in half. It was bloody, it was nasty. And same thing for those that are in the S&P and in tech, they got bludgeoned. Gold is a fantastic defense mechanism, guys, and it will come in very handy to own that physical gold. When I say physical, it can mean a bunch of different things. It doesn't just have to be a bar that you have at, under your mattress, or a coin, coins at your safe deposit box. I look at it as anything that's attached to physical gold. Could be an ETF. I don't really prefer GLD too much, but I do have some of the gold and silver ETFs in my brokerage accounts, because it's another way to diversify the physical that I own and the exposure that I have. And physical silver is tough to really stack a lot of because it's so heavy. But you've got to also look at these miners. The miners have just been so crushed and left for dead compared to where these valuations are. And we're having a little bit of a delayed effect in terms of the tax loss selling that has occurred, really causing a lot of these things just to go for nothing. And we haven't really seen a right bounce like we tend to, like we would have normally this week, and even going into the end of the year. There's just too many bargains out there to ignore. And, there are things that with the pricing of, even look at, I'm very bullish, for example, on nickel. I really like nickel, copper as well, but nickel has presented some unbelievable opportunities in the mining space too, because there's just so few. There's so few with viable projects. And, we're coming with this clean energy situation. I mean, there is an apex and it is approaching fast, and there is going to be a supply mega crunch for nickel with the demand that we're seeing just from the EVs. Anything that's got to do with this clean energy trend, it's going to create a strong price in nickel, I believe. We're right there. It's been holding in just under 10, between $9 and $10. We've been crimping these new highs, but the nickel juniors and miners have done squat. They've just been dead, and I've been buying them every single day for probably close to 2 months. Various little ones that I've been just chipping away at, building big positions, and I'll get to those separately. I'll get to some other gold and silver miners separately. You've got me here telling you I'm buying physical gold. I believe it's a strong buy for defense and for a store of value and purchasing power. I think that the gold miners and the juniors are where you're going to get huge bangs for the buck. And when this stuff starts to come alive, guys, it's going to come alive, I think, in a pretty fierce fashion. But until then, I'm not sitting around, hoping by my screen that it's going to occur. We have to have sustaining power, meaning we don't buy a bunch of something and then we hope it hits in a month so we can take it out and pay our rent. I mean, I've been there, trust me, too many times. So I'd rather steadily add or just slowly stop and hold and make sure that I can hold this stuff until my day comes when I get a better valuation. For now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my biggest position that you could buy, and that is Phenom Resources. Phenom Resources, Phenom. That's right. This has been the brand that I've built. Phenom Ventures, Phenom Foundation. I would do it, but my computer's a little broken. Phenom, my dog. Uh, it's a brand that I built up since I left active money management and being a broker in 2011. So it's been a 10-year project. It's really not a brand in the sense that I'm out there always have been promoting it, but it's been the name of, my holding company that everything's gone through. A lot of people are familiar, with it. Anybody I've done business with, certainly. And then the foundation, yes. I mean, I have been promoting that more and more because that is, that's something that we want to get the word out there for to help more dogs and people and things like that. But the name of a mining company being Phenom Resources that happened because Paul Cowley could have taken this and said, I'm just taking it. That's great. But we've been huge supporters of what was first vanadium. Before that, Cornerstone Metals. And Cara, please, my dog from Caracas, Venezuela is right here and always looking for attention. I'm going to wrap this up though. Phenom Resources, okay. The last financing that was done was at 40 cents Canadian, and that was I believe we closed that in April or May of last year. And that second tranche was done, whereas the two largest investors were myself and Rob McEwen, both put in. We did 1 million units, so 400,000 Canadian. Both of us put in. It was a $6 million raise. They've been drilling a ton. There are so many exciting things going on there, not only from a potential monstrous gold ore body discovery in the South Carlin area. We also have a massive, it's the biggest pure vanadium deposit and the highest grade in the United States and North America, actually, I believe, that is already there at the PEA stage. Vanadium is very interesting because it has been sleeping, if you will, and it is coming alive again. And this is a clean energy resource that it's not going away. And in fact, some of the most exciting parts of why I think Phenom Resources, PHNM in Canada, PHNMF in the US on the OTC, the phenom or the vanadium part is really going to create some potentially strong catalysts in Q1, excuse me, drilling. I'm not going to get into too much more here with the E-letter. Those of you that are premium and elites, just with what I sent out recently, there's some more color there that you're going to see coming up on this thing. And I can't believe it's trading under 50 cents Canadian, and it won't be for long. I have bought a very, very, very significant percentage of this company. I believe it's between 5 and 6% that I hold personally. And then when you take our group, we have a lot of folks, elites and premium members that have made this a very significant position. Some of you have been in this for a while, in the E-letter list. And I would encourage you, not only do stick with it, number one, but number two, if you don't have any of this one, this is the one that is going, it's got my name on it. Okay. What does that mean? Well, if I'm a schmuck, if you think I'm a schmuck, then you don't want to touch it. Okay. But I am going to have fun with this stock, and this company has got endless amounts of financial support. We have got, I think, one of the top couple enormous mine finding ore body discovering geologists in Nevada history, and Dave Matheson leading our drill programs at South Carlin and at Smoke, which was just optioned. I love that name. And where there's smoke, there's fire. We'll see, but I don't think people are expecting much out of Smoke. And who knows, we could even see assays there in like a week. I don't know, maybe it's 2, but they've been drilling, and I know that it looks very interesting. So there's that. We own a copper asset. We have the vanadium asset on the surface. We have the gold monster hunting, elephant hunting, if you will, below there. We have the Smoke property. We have the copper asset that has not been drilled. We have more that we're looking at. And I say we because I'm a big owner of the company, and a lot of you are too. And this one is going to get taken care of. In fact, I mean, we're 40 some cents right now. I'm not giving an actual projection, but like I'm just saying that, I mean, for like a 10x, like $4 to $5, I'd be satisfied, I guess, like if that happened in this calendar year. But I'm not worried about the timeline. And if we end up hitting on one of these big swings, because we're taking the big swings, but we're also making sure this thing is covered. And it's also why I'm so heavy in the deal. The vanadium asset, in my opinion, is worth probably somewhere around twice what the market capitalization is today. Doesn't give any value. We could whiff on every single thing that we've got in the gold drilling arena. And, we're not going to, and we haven't. They've already come out with some very, very significant intersections of gold at this in the deep Carlin area. Just haven't hit the feeder zone yet, so we don't have the wow numbers yet. But just watch out, guys, because the way that I run this in terms of a mentality with humility is just a standard of being a phenom. You are on the rise, and you are a LeBron James at 17 years old, the Tiger Woods at 15 type of talent, and that's how the guys here are taking it too. And it's we're not this company. If anything, here's what I get frustrated with in this sector is people can't raise any money. They don't do anything. They don't play to win. They play to take a salary out and not go broke. We're playing to win. I'm hoping that we see this as a 20, 30, or $40 stock within 24 months, and that Phenom is the best performing play in all of Canada and the US in the mining sector. That's what I'm shooting for, at least mentally. And so are the guys there on the ground. I know Paul Cowley is extremely excited and bullish about this. You can always reach out to him and get his perspective. There's going to be an update coming. I'm going to be talking to the guys tomorrow on Saturday with a thorough update, and then we're going to come out and they're going to update everybody. We may take a part of that and carve it out, and then you can get an update from those guys. They're more important to listen to than I am. They're the geologists on the ground, but at the same time, I guess I'm the source of making sure that there's always going to be money there. These guys are very prudent. I'm not worried about them wasting it or stealing it or anything else. We're in good shape. And if you don't buy any Phenom, you don't own any real size in Phenom under, say, 60, 70 cents, and you watch what happens here, you're going to be very jealous. I hope everybody had a good new year, and I will be back with another update early next week on other picks in the nickel area, gold area, and also some more thoughts on the stock market. Cheers.